set. It's caught. 20, 10, touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Yes! Goal! Go to the deflection. Yes! The Huskies win their first state championship.
Well, welcome from the Noble Sports Field, and baseball is upon us tonight here on a Monday night of great action coming your way here on QCTV. I'm Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs, and a Metro Minny rivalry coming your way here. The Anoka Bucs traveling all the way to Brooklyn Park here to take on the Logators of Champlin Park. Welcome. Jim, I'm looking forward to a great matchup tonight.
Yeah, this is a rivalry that continues to get better as the talent for both teams gets better. And we're mid-season, actually closer to the end of the season. The dog days of summer are here as both teams try to finish up and position themselves in the Metro Minny.
Let's get you started with the starting lineups here for the Logators, who are in the field. As we'll take a look at the batting lineup first. First off, the head coach, general manager, and the manager for the Bucs is J.D. Wells. And the lineup looks like this. Garrett Hoffman at third base. He'll be leading off, followed by Tanner Thompson, a center fielder. Batting second, Trent Fredenberg. He is in left field. So the outfield has the honors, and for most of it here as we start, he'll be batting third, a great third hitter, followed by Austin Lang at first base. J.D. Wells managing at second base. He's got that cagey veteran with him, and it is storage as well. Taylor Nelson is the DH, followed by Jay Krieger, and then we also have Caden Belisle at catcher, and Freddie Hobner will be at shortstop.
Hey, Joe, quickly, the Champlin Park defensive alignment out in the outfield. You've got Pooter, Reichenborn, and Maki out in the outfield. Wallet, Raiola, Nelson, and Wallen through the infield from third to first. And behind the plate, May Robinson. And on the hill will be Connor Nygaard.
Nygaard, an Osseo native. Pitches college at Minnesota Duluth. 3 pitches. A 12-6 curveball, a changeup, and he likes to throw a 2-seam fastball as well. So we'll get going here. He's, again, last week when we saw him play here at Champlin Park, the Logators, he was out in right field and made some diamond catches out there. 6'3", a southpaw. Gotta love the southpaws. Gotta respect the southpaws. As we'll step in here, and Hoffman brings a 4.07 average into the box. First pitch into delivery, outside and away on that.
Right at 7:30, almost 7:31. A little late. Boy, I thought we were going to get going early, but we're going a little bit behind schedule.
Swung on and missed. Evens the count at 1-1. It's Nygaard, who is this is his 10th game of the season. Comes in with a record of 1-2. Has pitched 24 innings. This is a fly ball hit to the gap. Will it be tracked? It will in right field. Easily corralled there for the Logators, and first out is in the book, and that's Hoffman.
Yeah, nice curveball. It kind of hung a little bit, and Hoffman drove it into right field. That fell innocently into the mitt of Ethan Maki. Maki, catcher, laid down at Gustavus. Real solid hitter. Had a great freshman year, also at Legacy.
Tanner Thompson steps in now, fakes the bunt. They call him. They say, yeah, he did go. So this is the third game of the season for Tanner Thompson. This is his 10th plate appearance, hitting 167, 1 for 6, 1 run scored, and 3 walks. There's a strike. We get a chance to be right behind home plate here, Jim, and see some of the movement on the pitches here by Nygaard. He's ahead in the count here, 0-2.
High fastballs. This one curveball down and away, kind of backdoor.
Late breaking curveball, and get a chance there. Still stays up 0-2 on the count. 3 strikeouts in his first 6 at-bats here for Thompson. Trying to get his town ball legs underneath him. This one misses off the plate.
Really nice job by Max Robinson behind the plate to be able to try to work that ball into the strike zone. Thompson playing for the Mud Puppies, the Northwoods League.
And of course, you know, there's a couple of players for Anoka in that Northwoods League, and one is Hauge. I'll tell you, Jimmy said he's having some success down there as well.
Jackson Hauge up in Duluth, doing a great job up there, and will be transferring from Mankato and going to Kansas for his 5th year.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, just underway here, top half of the first. Metro Mini Baseball on QCTV. Swung on and missed. First strikeout, looked like an off-speed pitch that time. That got Thompson to swing, and first strikeout of the game for Nygaard, and that will bring up Fredenberg. Trent Fredenberg.
Well, this guy is a fun time all the time. He is intense. He will not get cheated on a swing. He gets up there and just hacks like a lumberjack.
This would be his 80th plate appearance already this season. He comes in hitting .412, 7 doubles, and a team lead 15 RBIs. First pitch missed there by Nygaard. This one's drilled up the middle. That's a knock up the middle, a base hit. First of the game here for the Bucs. And that's going to give Austin Lang a chance to extend this inning for the Anoka Bucs.
Pitch left up, and Fredenberg just turned on it. He just ripped it right back up the middle, right where it came from, and good solid hit. He's a line drive hitter, and that was definitely a scorched line drive.
Pretty strong up the middle here are the Logators, especially with Reichenborn back from the St. Louis Cardinals. In center field. Ball hit to second. 1 pitch over. Good footwork makes the play, and the Bucs are retired. Top half of the first here with 1 runner left on.
Bryce Nelson, nice job ranging to his left to be able to connect that ball and get it over to Wallen.
There you go. Look at that beautiful grandstand, new just as of last year. As we take a look here at the lineup here for the Locators. Head coach, of course, is Matt Merrick. But we'll get a look here at Sam Riola, an excellent shortstop and just a player at St. Cloud State for some time. Tate Wallet will be a third, hitting second. Ethan Mackey in right field, hitting third. Tyler Reichenborn, he is in center field and batting fourth, also leads the team with his average in addition to stolen bases. A little quick note to self. Jack Pooter, P-U-R-D-E-R, he's in left field, one of the 2 Pooter boys here playing on this team from Blaine. Bryce Nelson at second base. And then you've got Luke Ryerse, and this will be a treat to watch him. He is going to be attending Alabama next year to punt for Alabama and play baseball, but he still has a senior year to finish up at East Ridge next year, and they just finished winning a state tournament. And then we've got Errol Wallen at first base, batting 8th, and Max Robinson is the catcher. He's out of Rogers on his way to St. Cloud State.
And Anoka, as far as their defensive alignment goes, it'll be Fredenberg out in the left, Tanner Thompson center, Jay Krieger in right field. Around the horn, Hoffman at third, Hubner at shortstop, Wells at second, the old man Wells at second, Austin Lang at first. Behind the plate will be Caden Belisle, and on the mound is Nate Tillman. Tillman comes in with a 1 or 2 wins. He pitched 15 innings, given up 17 hits, 6 earned runs. He's given up 2 home runs, but he has got a whip, which is excellent at a 1.13 and a 3.6 ERA.
Riola, a lot like wine, gets better with age. As he continues his way at his at-bat here. It's just an outstanding career here throughout baseball, and of course here with the Logators. Riola comes in hitting .339. This is 60th or 72nd plate appearance of the season. Down in the count, 1-2.
Riola, the career home run leader at St. Cloud State, most in a season, and he doubled that. I think he's got 45 or 46 home runs in just 2 seasons as a Husky.
Boy, you can tell he's disciplined at that plate, does not chase. As you saw, the pitches from Tillman did not miss by much. Full count now, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Riola digs in here. Ground ball, 3-hopper to short, crossed the diamond in time, and a rare putout. First plate appearance and an out, and retired there is Riola for Champlin Park here in the first. Nice play at short there by Freddie Hubner.
So Hubner had to rush that throw because Riola was jetting down the line. And you could tell a guy loves baseball when, it's mid-July and he hits a grounder to short and he still hustles it down the line. That's somebody who loves baseball.
Setting up now, second, and the number 2 hitter. They gear it up here with Tate Wallet. On the pitch backside. That one's going to dot and get dirty just inside the third base line for a single. Taking a big turn, trying to stretch it to 2, and he's in as Wells had to go off of the bag to get that ball that was off the mark. Come back to the bag, but by that time,
great piece of hitting by Wallet. Sorry, Joe. Great piece of hitting by Wallet. Outside pitch, goes with it, rips it right down the line. Line drive past Hoffman and goes right into the corner with this long grass. Kind of hugs it. Fredenberg had to hustle to get it, and good slide too. Is that you saw that throw coming in on the inside part of second base.
So for Wallet, his 5th double of the season. And now we get Ethan Mackey. In right field. Turns on this one. Squares it up. Drifts to center. There to corral it. Good tracking. Good move on that. Getting over there was Tanner Thompson. Does not allow the runner to advance. Well, it 1 pitch, 1 out as Mackey is retired.
Excellent job by Thompson to just get himself positioned, knowing that, hey, listen, I can keep him at second base. That's 90 feet longer they have to go.
Reichenborn steps in here. Tyler graduated from Blaine in 2016. 1 pitch, 1 look down to third base. It's hot. Sue Hopper in time. No, he beats that out. You just can't afford to even miss a hiccup. With Reichenborn on the base path, he's a speedster, leads the team in stolen bases. And again, it was the St. Louis Cardinals organization for the past 5 years. Good to have him back in Minnesota.
259 professional games. That's a career.
Digging in now is Chance. Runners at first and second. Runner couldn't advance as the 2-hopper hit the third. Unable to nudge it down. Jack Puder out of Blaine, stepping in here. Boy, that pitch almost came right into the wheelhouse. As the left-handed hitters, they always used to say the wheelhouse, at least also for mine if I had a wheelhouse, was down low. But now they pitch a lot to that back foot breaking ball.
Yep.
0-2 count ahead. Puder watches closely. And he's a lot more patient than I think I would have been.
2-strike pitch, and that one, if it was off just by a couple of millimeters.
Jack Puder, his brother, out with an injury. This one he turns on, slicing, dicing, moves to left field. He beats the left fielder over the top of the head. 1 run is in. Second run will score. And 2 across on the 2-out RBI double for Puder.
Well, Puder did a great job. That thing carried. It was up in the zone, and that's where Tillman has lived pretty much his first inning. That pitch up in the zone, he just turned on it, and Fredenberg initially thought he kind of needed a couple steps back, but that one carried almost to the fence.
Puder with his 6th double of the season, and now 6 RBIs. for the Blaine graduate. 2-0 lead early here. Logators turning, squaring up, and on base knock up the middle. Runner is going to score here from second. Pinch runner went in there, I believe, for Pooter. And that was...
Pooter's.
No, it did stay with Pooter in there. But a base knock there by Bryce Nelson. Well, he hit that on the screws, Jim. First pitch.
I like Nelson. Nelson has been one of my favorite on the Logators. He's just a hard-nosed, plays ball. His uniform will be dirty by about the third inning. Just a good hard-nosed ball player.
Setting in now out of Eastridge on a state champion team this year for Class 4A. He's got some forearm issues on the flex, so he is just hitting. And we'll get you that one swing. Good. I'm glad he fouled that back because I was about to tee him up. As you get a look, I enjoyed watching play some high school ball, but again, we get a look at 27, Luke Ryerson.
Ryerson, two-time champion.
Two-time, and he's got a senior year ahead of him. Turning on this one, just a bit underneath it, hit to left, down the line, continues to float. The wind is blowing right to left. Tricky catch, and able to corral it in left field. Fredenberg, as that ball was moving on a windy gust, moving right to left from center field to left field, and that long fly ball. The Logators are retired, but not before they put up a crooked number. They push 3 across here in the top half of the first inning. And that's where we're at. One complete. Back. Welcome back to Metro Mini Baseball Tuesday night. Excuse me, let's make this a Monday night, shall we? On QCTV, Joe Rulon along with Jim Childs.
Trying to jump ahead, aren't you?
I'm in a rush this week. And the Logators put up a 3 spot, and they'll lead off. It will be the Bucs here in the second. The manager, Coach J.D. Wells.
Wells, the all-time leader in hits, at-bats, runs, games. Think about anything else?
Well, I think he had a game-winning hit the last time, Jim, you and I worked together in that game
against Andover, the Aces.
Wells comes in hitting .231, an on-base percentage of .329. A couple of doubles this season and 10 RBIs. But yeah, he walked off as a center fielder. I believe it was a center fielder, right fielder for the Aces. Came diving in to try to make that catch, and with 2 outs down to the last strike, the Bucs get a walk and then put up the win. This one's lifted to second. Bryce Nelson has it measured, corrals it. Out number 1 here in the top half of the second. It's going to lead us to Taylor Nelson.
Nelson, the DH.
Comes in hitting .267. Got a couple of doubles and 9 RBIs. Pitch here from Nygaard. As get a look at that release. Fastball, really a late breaking curve. That fastball had some movement, Jim.
Yeah, it did. Nygaard, you know, these lefties, the ball just comes out different no matter what. Each lefty seems to be different.
And you can't trust them.
Yeah, you can't.
Really.
You can't trust them. You're
You
right.
want to build some trust and rapport. You just can't with those lefties.
They always got their hat on a little bit crooked. It's just a different.
I asked him if anyone else in his family plays baseball. He said his dad did. In fact, he said his dad still plays for the Mudslingers in the 35 and over league. Swung on and missed, second strikeout of the game for Nygaard. And now the Bucs have 2 down here in the top half of the second. Getting some good movement on his pitches. Came in and worked a lot of relief this year for Minnesota Duluth. Krieger steps in.
You know, the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference is really one of the top conferences in Division II.
Krieger swings and fouls this one straight back.
You've got, you know, Mankato, which is, or Minnesota State Mankato, which has been one of those unbelievable, you know, legacy schools. And then you've got Augustana also, who's just a powerhouse.
Called strike by the umpire behind the plate and right on cue. You know, the guy behind the plate actually played 2 years of basketball, the umpire at Mankato State. Out of Buffalo, Minnesota. And I'll get you his name in a second here. Ground ball to the hole. Riola has it, digs it out, quick release, just in time and gets him punched out at first. A bang bang play. Riola launches a laser from deep at short and gets.
Well, that was
the
impressive. I tell you what, that was a Derek Jeter type, going far, ranging far to his right, being able to plant, jump, and being able to throw it over. Excellent play by Riola, and good stretch by the first baseman, Wallen.
Excellent stretch over and getting him in time. So we're going to bottom of the sixth or bottom of the second. See, I'm trying to speed things up across the way tonight.
I think was pretty excellent was you were talking about the umpire who played at basketball at Mankato State. He's running down the line to make sure that he's got a great view. He's out at second base. He was at second base getting the, you know, just checking out when Reichenborg went in there. He's active, knows where to be, knows how to be in position. That's pretty impressive for.
And impressive how he moves considering he shredded his Achilles, which is why he stopped playing basketball.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, you know him well. Did you guys hang out?
We did.
Okay, thought so.
We did. He called me out several times.
Oh.
Out of control. Stay in the car, that type of thing. I think we're all that way. But, yeah, I enjoy watching the call, and it's the bottom of the second here, keeping it moving, as now the Logators will try to extend their 3-0 lead.
So coming up will be Aaron Wallen. Errol Wallen, first baseman. Make a good play on the stretch, you get to bat first.
Absolutely there. And first pitch there. Both pitchers are pretty much around the plate. Seeing some good movement, but that's so much easier for the umpire. Be able to call that. There's a swing and a quick shot over the third in time. Wallen is retired.
Hoffman didn't have to move. It was a one-hopper right off the infield dirt. Handy hop over to Hoffman. Hoffman fires one over to Lang. First out. You know, one thing, Joe, with both these pitchers, there is both are pitching from the stretch. There's no full windup, no matter who's on base or not. Both pitching from the stretch to eliminate. You're seeing more and more of that. They're just trying to eliminate the
extra motion.
Extra motions, yeah. Good curveball. That goes in for a strike on Max Robinson.
Robinson getting out of Rogers High School, just graduated, and he is also headed to St. Cloud State. Matt Merrick, also a catcher. Can't tell you how much he appreciates to have someone of his talent behind the dish to take some nights off, but also just to have him lead. He likes not only how he catches, but how he manages the team and the field and the play as well.
Both pitchers are throwing strikes too. 1-2 count. Tries to dive one outside, see if he could get Robinson to chase.
Robinson comes in hitting 167. This is his 8th game of the season. This one's a drive to the gap. It's going to get down. Just in front of Fredenberg, I think died. Some good top spin. And Robinson is on, and that allows the Logators to flip the lineup and bring Riola back up after he grounded to short his first time up.
You get a chance to flip your lineup instead of having 2 out, nobody on. You've got your 9-hitter on first, and only 1 out. And meat of the matter, boy, close play at first. Good throw, good move by Tillman.
Jim, your former catcher.
Yes.
Why is he throwing over to hold the catcher on? I'm just kidding. These catchers don't have speed.
Well, what I heard.
But he's young, is what.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes catchers don't. You know, this is in all honesty, the amount of times that the high school catchers run is not very much because they always have a courtesy runner. So sometimes you can catch during town ball or Legion. You can catch those catchers napping.
This ball's hit. Knocked down, base hit, back-to-back here. So the number 9 hitter, Robinson, reaches on a single, and Riola matches it. Runners first and second, just like they had in the first inning, and scored all 3 runs with 2 outs in that first inning.
Well, that was just a line drive, and no, Hubner was played pretty tight to second.
Tate Wallet steps in.
Good pitch.
First time up, a double.
Slowed it down, put it right on the outside part of the plate, seeing if could induce a ground ball to second base.
Double and score did Wallet in that first inning. This one's a slicing one. It's dying in front of Fredenberg. He tries to decoy the runner, but there's 2 outs. There's just a 1 out, rather.
You want me to take them?
And now on for the second consecutive time is Wallet, and now the bases are juiced here with 1 out.
We're going to have a conversation on the mound right now. So Wallet's had 2 hits so far. Both of them, the first one was a great swing on the outside part of the plate, went with, and that one was inside, and he took an inside-out swing and kind of just muscled it over the shortstop into left field to Fredenberg. And got Ethan Mackey coming up, number 3 hitter, followed by Reichenborn in the hole. It's time to figure out how to get a couple of outs without scoring any runs.
Ethan Mackey in a nice situation here. This is his 76th plate appearance of the season. He's hitting .349. 17 RBIs. He leads the team. Good guy to have as your number 4 hitter. 1 home run on the season.
Stopped by Belisle. That's another thing, you know, the catchers are working with pitchers they haven't worked with a whole lot.
Delivery here, high chopper the third, stepping on the bag. Nope, an error that time. Just tried to do too much. At third, a good look, but one of those big Sunday hops. But the Bucs third baseman, in that case Hoffman, was trying to just gather that ball, step on the base, and get the easy force. Instead, run across, 4-0 lead. Now bases juiced.
Reichenborn hit a single last time up. Drew scored on the single by Bryce Nelson. Actually, on the Jack Pooter double, sorry.
Pitch misses on that one, and he comes in hitting .429. 10 stolen bases. And this is a drive off the handle, rather. That's going to be a one-hopper. They will not get Reichenborn at first, so they go with the runner at third. And an RBI knocked across. Another run scored here for the Logators. Nickel nothing here in the bottom of the second, and we still have 2 runners on for the Logators. They step up with Jack Pooter. Pooter doubled his first time up. A fielder's choice is the call that time on time for Reichenborn.
All right, Reichenborn, that was a great pitch by Tillman. It tailed in and just sawed off and hit him right on the handle. Good play to make sure you at least get one by Hubner. You weren't going to get, the ball wasn't hit enough to turn a double play at first.
Good pitch, slows that one down even more that time to Pooter. Pooter does a great bat, can play the field just about any spot out there. 386 hitter. As you look at this right now, as we mentioned, Champlin Park Logators 8-0 in the Metro Minny. They've won their last 3 games, and the Bucs have put together and stacked 2 wins back to back. And it's come this week. Good poise to watch that pitch. So 2s are wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 across here in the bottom of the second. Looking for more, the Logators, and punched out, caught looking. Opened the fridge, grabbed the beverage, and shut the door to the behind the base umpire, and we have 2 innings in the book. 5-0 for the Logators.
For Donnelly. Rebels here at home. They could have some home games.
Scores!
3 touchdowns, all to Basuku. He's got 1 on the ground. What a great catch. Look at that.
Top of the face-off circle. She sends one low. Save is made. Follow-up shot. Score by Max. Whether or not that's
Great look at a goal! Anoka. He gets through. You see right there has Bernovic with a shot. Hey, welcome back to Noble Park, and we are starting in the top of the 3rd inning as the Anoka Bucs will send up Caden Belisle, Freddie Hubner, and Grant Hoffman against Connor Nygaard, who has been almost perfect so far. He's given up 1 base runner in out of first 2 innings. That was a base hit to Trent Fredenberg. First pitch to Belisle is high. A catcher. Had a chance to coach Caden a little bit this year with catching. Good catcher. Understands how to frame the pitch, work through the ball. The curveball stays up high. 2-1.
This is just the 2nd game of the year for Belisle. 4 plate appearances, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. The good news is that he doesn't have a batting average, but he has an on-base percentage of .500.
2-2 right now. Nobody out here, top of the third. And strike three. That'll be the third strikeout for Nygaard. He's got one every inning so far. That'll bring up Freddie Hubner at shortstop.
He is certainly in command out there. Has everything hitting on all cylinders. All the pitches working right now as Hubner gets a look here.
Takes a fastball for a strike. That was up around the letters.
Hubner, a .203 hitter, 8 RBIs.
And that good pitch, just about kind of had Hubner in a pretzel, but was able to hold up. That dived inside. Robinson pulls off his glove. Hubner's got some speed. When we did the Aces and the Bucs, we could see some speed out of Hubner. And now count of 2-1. So you basically have two leadoff hitters with Hubner, and then followed with the top of the order up with Hoffman. You didn't get a chance to see it earlier this weekend. The Gopher Classic was in at Anoka. Anoka finished 2-3, but man, just excellent baseball. Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Castle Field. Some of the best in the upper Midwest.
Well, the good news there for Hubner. Number 9 hitter just finds himself on base with a walk as they flip their lineup over to Hoffman.
Hoffman comes up just like the bottom of the second. One out, and the number 9 hitter gets on board. And so you flip the lineup with thinking that you've got a chance here. Hoffman takes a strike. Nygaard's good at being able to paint that outside corner. He kind of starts out there, and then he'll, like you had mentioned to lefties, he does the opposite, drives that slider down to the right. He's going to go outside on this one. And looked pretty close. That looked like an identical pitch, but called for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hey, the one thing you get is consistency. As Garrett Hoffman looked close at almost a second strike. 7 strikeouts on the season for Hoffman. He also has 14 walks and 10 RBIs.
Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. That was that patented slider that dives in. We'll see fastball on the outside again. Called for a strike. 2-2. If Hubner's off on this one, have to go on first movement with the lefty. And Nygaard thought maybe that might be what's happening. Throws over. Hubner not too far off. 2-2 pitch. And outside. Well outside.
Yeah, it looks like he's just nibbling at that corner.
Yep.
Trying to get them to get that swing. I wouldn't be surprised to see that breaking ball.
That's a full boat right now.
Breaking.
Yep. 3-2. And looked like it was a changeup that he kind of pulled the string, and that got Hoffman out on his front foot, and that'll be the second strikeout of the inning, 4th of the game for Nygaard, and brings up Tanner Thompson, who struck out in the first inning. Takes a strike right down Broadway. That was a nice pitch. See the Bucs hitters are just off stride a little bit. Thompson takes another strike.
Boy, just dots that corner of the outside part of the plate. Great accuracy, and Hubner, see if he's interested in trying to go. Robinson's got a great arm and strong on a miss.
Well, he strikes out the side. And one after the walk to Hubner. He's now tallied 5 strikeouts in the first 3 innings. Nice work by Connor Nygaard. As you take a look at the standings for the Metro Mini. Joe, you had mentioned earlier, Logators are kind of running away with it, 8-0.
They are. They had a great matchup just the other night against the Aces, put up a victory there. The Bucs, meanwhile, have won their last two in Metro Mini play. You see the Saints at 4-4, but hey, Forest Lake, a team to be reckoned with. They'll heat up as well. You see that from Coon Rapids as well. But teams now really trying to position themselves. State play, first you want to get there. And, of course, all of that starts, I had it on the calendar about August 15th, I think is the first day and the start of the state tournament. Of course, both of these teams with a history of success. Champlin Park finished second after coming back through the back door a couple of years back. And then, of course, Anoka stunned Lions Pub Warriors in the first round of last year's.
Yeah, really, incredible on what they were able to do as a group. The Metro Mini was, I don't want to say it was pretty much run by the Coon Rapids Redbirds. I mean, it was owned by them, and now everyone is kind of joining in as the talent level continues as we move to the bottom of the third inning. And coming up against Tillman will be Bryce Nelson. Nelson singled. And it looks like he's got another one. Tough play. Hubner up with it. And no throw. Good stop. Just couldn't pull the trigger as Nelson was hustling down the line. That'll be Nelson's second hit. So base runners, that'll be the 8th hit so far for the Logators in just 2 innings.
Nelson came in hitting .333. Has 1 stolen base this season, but 2 for 2 here today.
Foul ball by Ryson. Ricey? Is that? Am I saying that correct, Joe?
You had it right that first time. You nailed it. Ryerson.
Number 27. Punter for Alabama. Boy, I tell you what, they're going to get a good punter. And as somebody who loves punting, when you root for Iowa, you know punters.
Yep, a number 1 ranked player in the state of Minnesota for the class of 2024 is Ryerson. And I'll tell you, talking to him before the game, he seems much more mature than someone who's just going to be a senior in high school.
Well, he flew out to left field last time. Runners on. Nelson's on the way and fouled down the line. That was a laser that might have, if it connected with someone, probably put a hole in him. It was a gentle swing in the first inning to end the first inning, but it landed on the warning track right at the right at the foul pole, pretty much down the left field line. Nelson off again. That goes right up the middle, and that's through. Nelson on his way to third. He'll get there. Up with it is Thompson. Thompson looks to get it in, and they'll have runners on first and third. First hit for Ryerson, number 9 for the Logators.
Yeah, he had 2 hits in his debut with the Logators against the Aces on Saturday, and he managed to go yard and hit a double. So he's off to a good start, 3 for 4 this far, and we're going to get a visit.
This will be the second visit, and I believe this may be it. Let's see if they make a decision. And that will be it for Tillman. See who comes in.
Tillman with the 1 strikeout. That was the last inning as he caught Pooter looking. But he'll leave with a couple of his hitters on base. And
coming in will be Austin Lang. So Austin Lang will come in. He'll take the hill. He'll see who goes over to first base. I believe it will be Taylor Nelson. Or Taylor Nelson will most likely go to first base. He was a DH. So Austin Lang, the lefty, will come in. He's got 27 2/3 innings, giving up 25 hits.
5 walks, 37 strikeouts. That's pretty impressive. And a 1.3 ERA. He has got 4 wins against no losses. Austin Lang, you're going to pull out the big gun. Got some good velocity, lefty.
Yeah. At Augsburg, pitching there, but he came in last year, was stellar as a starter or from the bullpen. They brought him in the last couple of innings to shut down Lions Pub Warriors in their win.
Now, while we're waiting, Joe, you know, you were talking about Tyler Reichenberg before we started. We had a conversation about Section 7 and the high schoolers that you know, in 2016, and there's quite a few players on here. You've got Tyler Reichenberg, you've got Sam Raiola, you've got who else is Ethan Mackey was actually with Legacy, not part of Section 7, but some of the names that came out of Section 7 in 2016, you got Matt Wallner, the Twins player. You got Zach Robbie, who played minor leagues and kind of a legacy with Forest Lake, is one of the coaches that you've worked with previously. Brian, been part of it.
Yep, Robbie was a leadoff hitter his freshman year with the Gophers.
Drafted by, I think it was somebody else. That gets away from Belial, and coming in to score will be Nelson. Nelson got a good jump off it.
And a different spin for Belial, the catcher, to get used to. Was used to seeing the righty, now he comes in with the lefty Lang. And a spinner that time in the dirt, takes a strange carom. And now a 6-run lead here for the Logators in the bottom half of the third.
There's a pitch just off the corner. So that pitch, first pitch was a strike, and then went off the glove. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lang throws it, popped up into short right field. Coming in and making the catch is Krager. Had a long run at that, and with that sun starting to go down, it's a little different shade of seeing the ball off the bat. But got a good jump on it.
Did a good job, though, to get Wallen to fly out. Wallen, an excellent hitter this season. And now gets that first out. That's always just as good if you're going to focus on some positive is getting that first out.
I bring up Max Robinson. He singled, scored last inning. That pitch right down the center. Lang. Tell you what, the pitch clock is not needed in this game. The pitchers are moving fast. That one's throwing back and hustling back was Ryerson. Rice, he was not too far off. I don't know if play was called, but J.D. Wells covers. Lang with the pitch. That one's fouled, and it'll be out of play. Now the truck is right behind us. We've been hit 4 times, I believe. I'm going to be. This is probably one of the parks that we get hit the most at. Am I correct, Ryan? So I think Noble will has a chance to maybe get up to a nickel. That one's hit into center field, and that'll be down for a hit. Late break by Ricey, and he'll stop at third. Had to wait to see if the ball was going to get caught by Thompson, but it'll Robinson with his second hit. It'll be runners on first and third.
Yeah, Thompson was playing pretty deep. It's one of those cases where he takes a pure full swing. I wouldn't say it was off the bat, but he didn't quite get the charge on it that he was hoping. But it was just enough charge to drop in front of Thompson in center field. Second consecutive hit for, as you mentioned, Jim, for Robinson, and that flips it to the leadoff hitter.
Riley was singled last time up. Stands in there, the shortstop. He's 1 for 2. This is inning number 3, and this is his 3rd time up. So, yeah, I need a Gatorade soon. Raiola takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Logators jumping all over the Bucs. It's 6-0. That one's fouled.
Logators came into the matchup here tonight with an overall record of 15-10. 161 runs scored, adding a 6 today to 167 now runs scored, and surrendered 103.
Good swing by Raiola. That goes into right field. That'll score 1. On its way to 3rd is Robinson. Raiola will go into 2nd, standing up with a double. And another tally. Pitch was on the upstairs and high and outside, and Raiola just punished it into right field. Good piece of hitting.
Sam came into the night hitting .339. Continues to ride up on that RBI title. And now a total of 8 doubles on the season. Just makes contact, doesn't try to do too much. That was a pitch on the outside part of the plate, and he drove it to right field, textbook.
So tough lefty against another tough lefty as Lang delivers a strike to Wallet, Tate Wallet. He's got a perfect night going. Double in the 1st inning and scored. Then he singled in the 2nd inning. That one's popped up, or a little Texas Baltimore chop that Lang was able to get. He gets an RBI as Robinson comes in to score. That high chopper allowed Robinson to score on the field, or on the putout, on a 1-3 putout. Raiola moves up to 3rd on the throw over.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect Raiola just to sit there.
No,
He was bursting, head first dive, 8-0 game.
Yeah.
He's always brings that energy.
Swing or a strike. Ball comes in to Maki. Maki 0 for 2 so far tonight. One of the few Logators that does not have a hit yet. And we're only in the 3rd inning. Blew out to center and then was on an air. Ball was hit over to Hoffman. Oh, that.
I think
Good
that
stuff.
ball went through him.
I don't. I think we'd be living in the Matrix yet, because that looked like that could have definitely took a.
That's one of those, as a hitter, you kind of almost turn white. And go,
Yeah.
oh, what just happened?
All inside. That one, boy, I tell you what, that one looked like a pretty good pitch. Maki able to hold off. It's 3-1 right now. Runner on 3rd. That's Sam Raiola. He has bluffed a couple of times like he's coming home. That one's fouled off. Good pitch. Kind of got in the kitchen of Maki.
Yeah, it was busting in, looking to lock him up. A late break, and it came in right off the trademark and straight back on the foul.
3-2 pitch. That one's fouled off.
Second consecutive breaking pitch here. Let's see if he tries to go upstairs and walk the ladder on him here. Changes the pace.
Pitch from Lang. And you called it, Joe. That's a strike 3, and Lang gets the Bucs out of the inning, but not before the Logators scored 3. And to add to their total, it's 8-0 at the end of 3 here at Noble.
For Donnelly. Rebels here at home. They could have some home games.
Thorson tightens his wrist and scores!
what a great catch. Look at that.
Top of the face-off circle.
Hey, welcome back to Noble Park. We are here for QCTV and Town Ball for the Anoka Bucs against the homestanding Champlin Logators. And Champlin's got the Bucs on the rope as we head to the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Fredenberg, Lang, and Wells. The meat of the order coming up, and the Bucs are going to have to get something going. The Connor Nygaard has been outstanding so far. That one's popped up. Second baseman Nelson under it. And able to collect that. But last inning, Nelson, that Nygaard was able to strike out the side as Trent Fredenberg, the first out here. He's got 5 strikeouts so far tonight. And brings up Austin Lang, who grounded out to Nelson on a nice play as he ranged to his left. Able to throw out.
Logators came into this game with a team ERA of 3.7. And opponents are hitting .233 off of Logator pitching so far. Nygaard is representing that number well.
Lang patient at the plate so far. That pitch on the outside, it's where Nygaard has lived, and that one's on the outside and swung right through it by Lang. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, it's so important just to kind of know your style and your approach, and you can see Nygaard is so confident with his approach.
Boy,
hit his spots, just know the spots. Don't try to overthrow.
Yeah, Robinson does a nice job of being able to work through that pitch, and if something's close, he's trying to work that pitch back into the zone. So we've really seen just a fastball on the outside and then a slider that that kind of dives in at the back foot of the right-hander. We'll see what happens here with 3-2 pitch. That one's hit on the air out to Reichenberg. Reichenberg takes a couple steps back, then floats back in. Easy catch. And an easy out for out number 2. And just like Eddie's cruising. Nygaard, Connor Nygaard got it in cruise control as we go to 2 outs here now in the top of the 4th. J.D. Wells steps in. Wells flew out to the, popped up to Bryce Nelson back in the 2nd inning. Fouled back. Talking with Wells before the game, and he says everything's feeling great. He's feeling good. He loves doing what he's doing. That one's hit out in the right center field. That Reichenberg born right there, able to collect it. Easy 1-2-3 inning.
That was all Reichenberg that inning, as Reichenberg caught all in center field for the hat trick. And some good pitching around the plate. I mean, it's just the same thing. It's not like he's overpowering anyone, but I'll tell you, I'm just impressed with Nygaard, knowing his style, his approach, and just into a nice cadence. We can hear a dog getting at it here with wants to get on the field, I think.
Yeah, down on the first base dugout, there's a puppy down there that's is maybe rooting for the Bucs and a little disappointed with the performance. I think maybe.
And we got to say hello to Josiah out in center field on the camera. Good to see him out there. That hill, fine job. A shout out to Josiah. Nice work from there as he tries to zoom in on some secret close-ups of Jim and I sometimes, which can be tricky. But yeah, there you go from the parade. A good look on that sign. And also, of course, a good look behind the plate coming from Tristan Hart, the behind the plate umpire. As I mentioned, there's that dog. And giving at it a good look. If I wouldn't know any better, I think the dog is trying to give signals with that sound.
Yeah, well, it might be. That's like the way the Astros used to beat the garbage can. Maybe this is This is how the Logators are getting ahead. So that'll bring up Tyler Reichenborn. Reichenborg singled in the first inning and scored. Got 1 RBI, and then there was a fielder's choice with the bases loaded. Were able to score, get an RBI, but was out on a fielder's choice. Nice pitch by by Tillman that locked him up. Reichenborg 1-1. That one's driven out to center field. Coming in is Thompson. Thompson right there. Thompson's got some speed. You can tell that we've seen that back when he was playing at Champlin Park.
Absolutely, and I'm beginning to think there's some sort of gravitational force attached to Josiah on the camera out in center field. The last 4 putouts have gone to center field.
It's one of those deals. Jack Pooter comes up. Jack struck out looking the last time. And doubled with 2 RBIs in the first inning and scored on the Nelson single. Big swing, and see right there that lefty on lefty is one of the toughest matchups out there. You just don't, as a lefty, you just don't get a chance to see. And that one pitched upstairs, and Pooter just couldn't get it. He tried to do the same thing, and Pooter got locked up.
Well, he said he's trying to come up into that kitchen area, locking him up, not allowing him to extend.
The 2 strikes. Let's see if he can climb the ladder again.
A fastball up and tight.
There he is, right there. Good call, Joe.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Well, you've been right twice today. That's if you get one more right, you're no longer a broken clock.
Hey, I'm looking forward to watching additional hitting here. This Metro Mini has been very, very balanced this year. Just 3.5 games separating second and last. 3-run games or closer. There's been 18 this year. 1-run games. There's been 11. Extra inning games, 7, which speaks volumes for that strength and the balance of the Metro Mini. Boy, that was a tough breaking pitch to lay off.
Yep, it certainly was. And Lang has kind of found his groove now after a tough couple of ones. He's retired 4 in a row and make that 5 in a row. And the first 1-2-3 inning for the Bucs. And we're at the end of 4. Joe's going to come back on the other side. We've got the Logators up 8-0 on the Bucs here on QCTV.
The St. Paul Saints are back.
Second for 1 on to first. Double play. Oh, in the air, right field. Well hit. Way back. It is gone.
Catch live coverage of tomorrow's big league stars right here on this community station.
'Twas the morning after snowfall before the plows arrived. Not a person was out. They all stayed inside. The kids ran to the window. The dog almost trampled, filled with excitement because school was just canceled. They grabbed jackets and mittens and bolted outside. We must free the hydrant, they all cried. They shoveled 3 feet around, and the hydrant was free, keeping snow at a good distance in case of emergency.
Awesome. Coming to the 5th inning here, Joe Rulon, Jim Childs, as we bring you Town Ball. Coming your way here, QCTV. It is an 8-0 lead for the Logators. And stepping into his 5th inning here is Nygaard. Doing an impressive job thus far. He induced 3 fly balls to center field last inning. The previous inning, he struck out the side. As Tyler Nelson now steps in here. Nelson struck out his first time up. And ahead in the count here, Nygaard again. Again, mostly a relief pitcher. at Minnesota Duluth. Asked him if he'd rather prefer starting than relief. He goes, boy, seeing a hitter for the third time, I'm not so sure. And there's a drive to the gap. It's down for a double. Rounding first, on his way to second, a dart throw from center field will not get him. And now leading off this fifth inning with a double is Taylor Nelson.
Well, right on cue, you're talking about the third time or the second time through the order right now, and it's going to flip in 4 batters. So good job of hitting by Nelson. Outside pitch, and that's where Nygaard's been living. Go with it, puts it right into the gap. And the Bucs have a little life.
Stepping in, Krieger swung on and just wanted to pull that back as that ball ate him up. Coming inside, and he fouls it back here.
Well, what I think is interesting is Krieger was looking on the outside and mixed things up. Nygaard threw one on the inside. I'm sorry, but looking on the outside, now on the inside.
Krieger grounded to short his first time up. That was a tremendous play by Riola short for the Logators. With one down, Krieger comes in hitting .500 coming into this game. Just his 5th game of the season. He's got a double and a triple and 4 RBI, so he's had some quality looks already as Krieger. This one misses outside. 3-1.
Have a pinch runner come in for the Bucs. For Nelson, that will be
Charlie Buffy. Making his way onto the scene. Krieger will be followed by Belisle. Chance here with no outs, a leadoff double by Taylor Nelson.
Logators have a good week this week so far. They win against the Andover Aces on Saturday. And then see off to a good start here tonight.
Logators trying to recover with a bit of an injury bug. There's a walk. The optimist would say, well, first was open anyway. So Krieger gets the walk and on base, and up is Caden Belisle. I mentioned the Logators hit with some injuries. Adam Puder, excellent player, disc injury in his back. He's been out most of the year thus far. Jay Clausen, his arm injury there day to day. Runners advance on that pass ball that gets by. Robinson, a rare piece, although the runner at first that time, Krieger did not advance. Runners at first and third now, a chance for the Bucs to ignite some momentum here in the top half of the 5th. Of course, you're probably wondering, this is a Chicago Lakes. I was thinking of a Chicago dog. I'm getting a little hungry. But Ryan Bruns. Where is Ryan Bruns? He's out with a wrist injury. Of course, he's a historic player here with the Logators. Swung on, hit the left field. Is it going to be deep enough to score the run? Corralling, they're going to try to throw, and they're going to hold the runner. Throwing a dime and getting it back in.
Well, great job by Puder. Good positioning and really smart. I mean, you're down by 8. Why take any chances?
Got his feet behind him on that throw, positioned. Little catch and release. So now we have one down and a number 9 hitter. We get a look at Freddie. Struck out his last time up. I stand corrected. He walked his last time up.
Well, his job is to get on base right now and get that lineup flipped. That one's fouled back.
And, you know, if Nygaard isn't careful, he's going to go back to school at Minnesota Duluth with that starter mentality. In the 5th inning here. Does not allow a run, but certainly threatening are the Bucs. Up top, foul ball lifted just to the first base side of the foul territory. We are at 0-2.
You were talking about food. I kind of figured you'd bring up a corn dog. I mean, Saturday you were all about the corn dog.
Yes, apparently I'm all about stents as well in my diet.
Well, you work with some medical device companies around town. You probably have a inside track on some of that.
And they're the perfect stocking stuffer. Nothing like a drug-coated stent. In the dirt, block goes over the left shoulder of Robinson, and this knocked at us. Any way you can get that first run for the Bucs. Grind it out. That's called manufacturing a run off of that pass ball. And you get a look here. First run, that always feels good to get that first one. Even though they're down 8-1, you got one scratching across. Runner advances to second on that pass ball. Here in the top half of the 5th. Just one out. This one floats to second. Nice play there by Nelson. The throw back, trying to catch and double up the base runner in second to Riola. Just wide of the mark, but backing up on that play. A Logators third baseman. So now 2 down, and a leadoff hitter will get his third look. Garrett Hoffman at Nygaard.
Well, it'd be great if the Bucs could get another one push across. It just, you know, any little chance to get a crooked number up there, that'll help as we get into the later part of this game.
Connor Nygaard came into this game throwing 24 innings. He's got 4 complete here, and a third of an inning away from making it 5. But the leadoff hitter standing between them, Hoffman. Swung on and missed. Hoffman struck out his last time. Up 5 strikeouts already for Connor Nygaard in 4 complete innings of work. He's ahead here of Hoffman, 0-2. Comes back with it again and gets his 6th strikeout. He's got a 6-pack. 5 complete for Connor Nygaard, 6 strikeouts, and just 1 run allowed. It's 8-1. As we head to the bottom of the 5th here in the Logators, will try to extend their lead.
Well, you had mentioned that, you know, Sam Riola, who has done an excellent job with being part of at South Dakota or St. Cloud State. You know, he was his freshman year won the MIAC with Bethel. He was the starting pitcher in the championship game against, I believe it was against St. John's. So he's he also played down in Lafayette, Louisiana, as a Division I shortstop or second baseman. I can't remember. He was injured, came back and ended up pitching. So he's made the circuit and been successful just about every place he's been.
Yep, at every level of ball. And you got to love it, though, his mindset. You know, we talk about mindset of a player, always hustling. And he's just got that mindset of a leadoff hitter. Seeing some pitches when it's time, see some pitches. When it's time, barrel up and let's get some RBIs or get something going. And so here we go, bottom of the 5th. And Gators trying to extend their win streak here in Metro Mini play to 9 straight games if they can get tonight's win. Stepping in now, Luke Ryerson. Ryerson is, again, he's going to be a senior this next year at Eastridge High School. Back-to-back state tournaments, #1 ranked player in the state of Minnesota. And he is committed to not only play baseball at Alabama, but punt as well. Roll Tide.
But I think it's pretty amazing that He picked the Logators. I mean, he has to drive past a lot of town ball teams to get out here, that including like the Stockman Irish.
Well, at some point maybe knocking on Matt Merrick's door and asking him. I'd love to hear more about that conversation.
Yeah. No kidding.
Gators overall, they've topped second place. Again, Andover just the other night, last Saturday, 11-3. But they just managed to get just enough on nights, and town ball can be tough when you're trying to leave work, travel either from the far south metro and getting the walk, reaching base for a second consecutive time there. Get a look at Ryerson. His brother actually was a punter for the Minnesota Gophers. Well, team for a few years back. Keeping the tradition alive there. So leadoff runner is on here for the Logators. As they step in here to throttle it up here, one swing. Off the mark there, foul ball.
11 hits so far for the Logators on those 8 runs, but last inning was the first 1-2-3 inning.
Setting inside here, and Aaron Wallen looks at this pitch, swung on and missed. See if he can make an adjustment. And you learn, you watch it every time in the major leagues as players come up. It's that off-speed pitch. It seems like everyone can hit that fastball, but it's the off-speed stuff that really they need to study. That's the thing I've been impressed with so far with the Logator starting pitcher is he's very confident throwing that changeup and hitting his spots.
And Lang's done a nice job too with that too. It just that if you can hit that off speed, especially on the outside, you generally will end up with the ground, and they say roll over. It'll roll the ball over to the shortstop if you're a right-handed hitter. Or that fastball, you think you can pull it. You can't.
Just miss on that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the full count, throw over. You got to do that, right? It's just kind of like, it's like the code of the game. Runner at first, full count. You got to just make sure you keep that runner close, or see if he just loses his head and decides he's going to take off without thinking. Struck out, swung on and missed. There is Wallen. And 1 down for the Logators here in the bottom half of the 5th.
Well, as a lefty, if you're going to steal, you're going to against a lefty. A lot of times it's just as soon as they lift up their foot, it's on.
Robinson steps in. He's 2 for 2. Couple of singles for the catcher. They hold on and keep the Logators base runner close at first. Be nice to get him to second and get another run across here for the Logators with that runner on second. 8-1 lead right now, and this is inside. Almost gets a piece of Robinson. He had to do some Dancing with the Stars move to get away from that pitch.
Robinson's been strong behind the plate. Probably would have liked to have a couple of those pitches back that got past him last inning.
Logators on this season, one of the top hitting squads in the Metro Mini. They're at .304. On base percentage of .407. The Bucs come in hitting .299 and an on base percentage of .400. Cheese left up high. This could go to the gap. No, they're going to roll it up and control it at center field. Thompson with that play calls off Fredenberg in left, and now with 2 outs. So turn the lineup over to the Riola machine as manages to get it going whatever the situation. He's 2 for 3. The only time he's been out so far in his previous at-bats was a ground out to short in his first at-bat of the game.
That's a victory anytime you get him out. Good fastball. That one came and had a little tail on it. Kind of looked like it was going to be inside and peeled back into the plate.
Check the adjustment here by Riola, as this time he was so calm. This time fouls it back. That pitch looked like, I don't know, maybe a changeup, because it looked like it was fading away that time from Riola.
I think he's you're seeing that fastball. He's just dropping down a little bit, so it's just coming off and, like you said, fading away. Good pitch.
Swung on and missed. That's a victory in itself as Riola goes down swinging. Great pitching. Good shutting it down there is Lang, and the Logators are put down with a goose egg here in the bottom half of the 5th. We'll return for the 6th in just a moment.
Food insecurity touches millions, leaving countless families unsure where their next meal will come from. It's a daily struggle affecting health, focus, and well-being. Cole with Anoka County Public Health here. You should know that this is a challenge we can meet together. By supporting local food shelves, starting community gardens, and learning about national food programs, we can turn the tide against hunger. Every can donated, every dollar given, every hand extended in help makes a difference. Let's unite to ensure no one has to go to bed hungry in our communities. Together, we can end food insecurity. Reach out, get involved, and make an impact at goanokacounty.org.
They are part of your community. They are your students. They are your teachers. They are your coworker. They are your friends and your family. They are experiencing homelessness. Understanding is the key to the solution. You can help them by giving them the benefit of the doubt, asking them what they need and how you can help them, acknowledging that you see them by sharing a smile. These little things go a long way to be seen and felt understood. They are part of our community and we are part of theirs. Homelessness will not go away without your help. To get help or to give help, visit our website.
Back for 6th inning action. It's Metro Mini Baseball on a Monday night here on QCTV. Joe Rulin, Jim Childs, and the Logators hosting the Bucs. Logators have an 8-1 lead as the Bucs try to get a little mojo going here.
Well, Tanner Thompson's kind of been after it. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. We'll see, get that turned around. Going back, I believe he'll be going back to Mankato. He's got a redshirt sophomore season just finished up.
Nygaard the delivery. So it's a fly down the right field line and out of play. And Nygaard is he's just like picking a scab on that outside part of the plate. Will not let it go. Continues to try to hit that same spot. And now you wonder, okay, now he's reaching out for that ball. Is he going to come with a breaking pitch at that back foot? Stayed outside and picked the scab one more time. His 7th strikeout of the game, the 3rd for Thompson.
I tell you what, that's a sombrero right there. I believe you could do the Mexican hat dance around with 3 strikeouts.
Brings up Fredenberg. Fredenberg singled his first time up. And the fly out there in the second at bat that came in the 4th inning. The portfolio on Fredenberg, just outstanding. Hitting over 400 and on-base percentage near 500. But just a great team leader as well.
Yeah, we missed him against the Aces. He was, I think he was out on a trip with his dad.
Correct.
Oh,
there's one hit. Right to center, just moved 1 or 2 steps. That looked like a punt from home plate, just out to the return man. As long as we're talking Alabama football, and Fredenberg is retired on a fly out to Reichendorn for the second out. That brings up the number 4 hitter in Lang. Lang 0 for 2. He's now on the mound, started at first base. Fouled straight back. Lang came into the game hitting .413. This is his 13th game of the season. 8 RBIs, 5 walks, just 5 strikeouts, and this one is run down and tracked. I was going to say maybe has that top spin, and I don't think Reichendorn is going to get that. They challenged him, and he tracks it down for the third up. That's a Wisconsin inning. 3 up, 3 down. You get in, you get out. In fact, if you are Anoka or Champlin Park defensively. So we go now to the bottom. Chance here for the Logators to see if they can put up some double-digit leads here on the Bucs.
You know, I don't think, Joe, we give enough credit to the work that goes in by these managers, by J.D. Wells and Matt Merrick. Wells has been doing it for 16 years, Merrick 13 years. Both have families. We saw, Merrick out at the Andover Fun Fest parade going through, and they have just done the amount of time and effort that goes into just, creating the team, and then building the competitive team, and then building the schedule and fundraising. It's pretty amazing what the efforts that are put in by these two.
It is plenty off the field before they take the field and go between the lines. And then even Matt Merrick threw for the first time. I think he said in 10 years, he told me. He was throwing submarine in that last outing in the game that they had prior. They took a tough loss, and some nice breaking, good spin rate by Matt. Matt is out tonight, injured non-throwing shoulder, shall we say, for Matt. But yeah, both these managers, J.D. Wells and his guy, always so helpful to get the lineups, get you insight, what you need, what's trending, what's not. Usually what's not is me, as we take a look at this first pitch here, the number 2 hitter in Wallet.
Well, Lang has really come in and extinguished the fire.
I-seeing single finds its way through between third and short, and Wallet now reaches base for the 3rd time.
That's the first hit since the 3rd inning. He had sent down 7, 8 of the last 9 with a walk in there, but that was the first hit. So nice job by Wallet to get the train moving again.
Sets in here for Ethan Mackey, who gets a little hit time there and will make his way down the first. So 2 on early here, no outs for the Logators. Bottom half of the 6th. They now bring up Tyler Reichenborn.
It's fun to watch him in center field. It's a jump on everything and knows how to glide.
Hard fly ball, hit it on the screws, but on a line to center field last time up. Also reached on a fielder's choice, and then a hit his first time up. Tries to go down the line. We mentioned Jim, he's had 5 years in the St. Louis Cardinals system. That's speaks kudos, and I can remember coaching against him. And it's at 14 AAA, 15 AAA. We go against Brooklyn Park. He graduated from Blaine in 2016. Jim, we touched on it earlier. That was quite an explosive year, as you had Wallner Player of the Year in the state of Minnesota. There's a pass ball skipped on that breaking pitch, unable to block it. It was Belial, so the runners advance. The second and third golden opportunity for some RBIs here.
Yeah, there were some pretty talented baseball players in Section 7, and it's funny. It was I ended up being in Blaine. Ended up going to the consolation final. But
one of the assistant coaches with Andover, Eric Feigem, was coaching, I believe, at that time.
He was the head coach.
A walk there, and runners stay at second and third, as Reichenborn now advances with a walk to first. Bases are juiced here, and they're juiced for Pooter, also a Blaine High School graduate. They'll go to the mound here, no outs, and the base is juiced, and a 8-1 lead here for the Logators. See if they can extend it to a 10-run advantage for that seventh inning.
So Pooter is actually still got a younger brother who's I think will be a sophomore next year in Blaine. So that the Pooter train farm system keeps rolling. Sure, the University of Duluth is happy about that. The Blaine High School team is as well.
Well, they've also, you can't forget about from a pitching standpoint, one of the pitchers that they're hoping to get healed and ready and back on that mound is Dylan Wilson, also of Blaine, who also pitches up in Duluth. Excellent pitcher. I know he's coaching the Legion team as well. So, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lefty gets a look and pops this up. Pooter going back, continuing back, all the way to the warning track. Makes the grab. 1 run will score. A 2nd run will score. Pooter just launched that swing and kicked it out to dead center. It just carried in what focus by Thompson to bring that ball down at the foot of the fence. 2 runs score on that sacrifice fly.
I don't think how many times I can't remember watching a sacrifice fly score 2 and the runner getting to third. That's amazing.
That was drilled. He couldn't hit that one any more square. The only negative point on it was the trajectory of that fly ball.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe too high to go out, but it just continued to carry. It looks like the wind, too, is also shifted, so it's blowing more in direction towards the QCTV van.
Well,
I think it probably has something to do with Josiah out there in center field and that gravitational force. What does he have in his pocket?
I don't know, kryptonite. So I think they did an appeal out to second base, and he was called because it looked like there might have been a little bit earlier jump by Reichenborn or Maki there. I don't remember who exactly. Maki, but yeah, it was called safe.
10-1 now. Bryce Nelson digs in. Runner at third. Nelson. Nice single. That came back in the 4th inning, and this one is going to be a gap. This is going to get down. 11-1, third run of the inning, and boy, he just got the hands inside the ball, and on that pitch, his hands on top of the ball as well, sliced it to the gap.
Well, Nelson's got that nice, quiet, short stroke and was able to just keep his hands inside the ball and drove it out into right center field. That's his second RBI, his third hit of the night.
And anytime you can have the leisure of having Luke Ryerson hitting this far down in a lineup, speaks volume about the bats you have in your lineup. Reached base. The walk last time up, but double his last time up. This time got under it. This one lifts all the way to left, making that grab, and that's the third out. Wow. 3 more runs, another crooked number put up by the Logators. They now have 11-1 lead. Will return for the 7th inning.
Live on QCTV, Jim Childs, Joe Ruland. We are back here. We've got a scoring change, I believe. I believe it is 10-1 in the favor. There was on my scorebook, it only had 2 outs, but I believe that they did appeal and did call Ethan Mackey out. At least that is what we are believing that it is right now, as Nygaard finishes up his warm-up tosses, but we're going to keep it at 10-1 as we get going into the top of the 7th inning. And that one run that came back at 8-1 will now have to be made up as J.D. Wells will come up. Now, I want to read you some. Actually, we're going to have a pinch hitter for J.D. Wells. Is number 17. And that is Braden Cherry. It'll be his first at bat of the season. And JD should have stayed in there because I was going to read off his career stats. Pretty incredible. As Cherry takes a strike. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cherry. That one's outside. 1,859 plate appearances. He has got, he's 9 hits away from 500. He's got 50 doubles. That one's hit in the air. Nelson under it, makes the catch. He's been hit by the pitch 49 times. He's had 193 walks. He has sacrificed 78 times. What a guy. And has a 322 batting average and a 772 OPS. So pretty impressive with that as Taylor Nelson comes in. Cherry out on the fly ball to the second baseman, Nelson. Also, we have up here in the booth, Austin from Andover, who's a chance to watch what we're doing and listen to what we're doing. Nelson DH has not the only run. He scored on a wild pitch, and he struck out in the 2nd inning. 0-2 right now. Nygaard just throw strikes. That's kind of what his motive is right now, and there he gets a strikeout. Number 8. And they throw it around the horn. They'll bring to the plate Jake Krieger, who walked his last time up, was able to get the first time get the Bucs first 2 runners on in 1 inning against Nygaard. 1 ball. Once fouled back. A beautiful night out here. The breeze is gentle. Well, maybe a little bit more than gentle, but it is blowing out to left field. Robinson tries to bring that one back in. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Beautiful sunset and a beautiful shave of that outside corner. He's been living and breathing on that outside part of the plate. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's popped up into right center field, going back, and catching it is Ethan Mackey. He did catch it, yes. It almost looked like Nygaard put his hands over his head like he didn't catch it, but he did catch it. And that will be the end of the top of the 7th inning. 1-2-3 inning. Nygaard able to burn through again. So they did, we're hearing right now, they did call Ethan out. So I'm surprised that they kept Reichenborg on 3rd base. So we've got a couple of changes out there for the Bucs. Fredenberg is going to come in to pitch. Trent Fredenberg will go to pitch. Going out to left field will be Jake Gauntz. Gauntzy behind the plate will be Mike McGonigal will go back behind the plate. So we've got some wholesale changes here for the Bucs. McGonigal behind home plate. Gonzi in left field. Fredenberg will take over for Lang.
Jerry, do you have the scorebook correct?
And
37.
Logan Piero will be over on first. As we continue to look, Huebner's still out there.
We take a look here.
Wells went back out. So he's back at second base. Fredenberg has 1 inning pitch so far. He's got walked 1 and he struck out 2. No hits, no runs.
Has been kind of a tough thing this year for them, as Zach Romans is out with the UCLA, Cam Kramer. He's also at UCLA perhaps, but Cam Kramer is out of state. Cully is with the Northwoods. Hoheisel, Virginia Wood Bat League. So 5 guys who would have been big roles pitching they're out. In fact, Hunter Smith, also one of those pitchers, is out with Tommy John. I think
that's a list.
I think they're having dinner tonight. Did I say he's out with Tommy John? That Tommy John surgery.
Reed Conley comes up. Reed is hitting for Luke Ryerson, the DH. Soon to get married, Reed is. Saw his dad, Jim, here. He's down in the stands. Fredenberg with a quick strikeout. That one, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Yep, Fredenberg all business. As he comes out, he does everything 100%, does Fredenberg. And
that will bring up Errol Wallen. actually will not. It will bring up.
So Max Robinson.
I had a different number, so I had him as number 28. My bad.
Yeah. No, it's so Conley had pinched it there for Wallen. So
my bad. Look at that. 1, 2, 3 again. 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts so far. Looking for the immaculate inning. As Fredenberg and Raiola will go at it here. Both of them graduated in 2017. One from Anoka, one from Blaine. This is not the first time they've met. 10-1 in favor of the Logators. 2 outs. Curveball in there for a strike. That's strike number 7.
Yeah, and you know what? Typically, I'd say I don't know if I want to face Raiola after he just struck out his previous time up.
Oh, there goes the immaculate inning.
But it's just great to see this competition, the rivalry between these two teams, always competitive. Breaking pitch. A spinner.
Down. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 for 4 so far tonight. 1 run scored, and he's got an RBI. Double in the third inning that scored a run. And 2 strikes. And the count goes full.
Well, the Bucs certainly have kind of this next man up mentality this season. With some injuries and players in the Northwoods leagues, and there's a walk. With Raiola now goes to first with 2 outs.
So that'll bring up Tate Wallet.
Also one of those things you got to love about the Bucs' authentic town ball, as 25 of the 30 players are from Anoka.
Well, they have a great feeder system. Their communication, I was talking with Hunter Smith, who is injured, and you had mentioned was out to dinner with Tommy John.
Yes.
Who
picked up the check?
I hope Tommy did. He's got.
You gotta wonder if he has naming rights,
well,
and he receives royalties every time it's mentioned. But anyway, back to you, the studio, Jim.
Oh, big rip down the line. That's going to be down the line, picked up on the right field and thrown in. And Raiola trying to get home, throw to the plates, not in time, and off the mark by Piero, running over to second, and that will be the ball game. Raiola didn't stop. He just kept going. And we have got a 10-run rule, and Joe, that's it.
I can't believe, you got to wonder, what is Raiola like? Does he need an alarm in the morning? Everything is full throttle all the time. A well-placed double down the line. It's funny, that's how Wallet started the game, was with a double.
Yeah.
At his first at bat and ends this game. And driving in Raiola on the double, and the game winner.
Hey, coming up next on QCTV, this next upcoming live broadcast, we have Metro Mini Baseball on the 26th of next week from Friday. It will be Centennial at Castle Field against Anoka, some more Metro Mini, and then we've got the Champlin concert. It's a Queen tribute. Joe? I think you might be there. And then, of course, the Logators' schedule coming up will be the Cougars against Centennial. They've got the Hamel Hawks. Then they get back in the Metro Mini with a home-and-home with the Forest Lake Brewers, and then they'll go on the road to the St. Anthony Hogs. As far as the Bucs go,
they go and travel to the Aces here in the next week, followed by a trip to hosting Forest Lake, it looks like, and then hosting also a trip to Coon Rapids, followed by Minnetonka. And that one. And you spoke of Bohemian, right? Queen. I'm Bohemian. So Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I can see,
Yet Yak Samash. And all of that. So I thought I'd share that with you a little moment.
Yeah, another little nugget from Joe. Hey, once again, thanks for joining us here on QCTV for Ryan and all the crew who did a great job, along with Austin up here in the booth. Joe did a awesome job at just letting me talk. Appreciate your help, Joe.
Rock star, Jim. Good job.
Anyway, thanks for joining us here on QCTV for this live sports presentation as the Champlin Logators 11-1 7-inning victory over the Anoka Bucs. Have a great night.